Hi, what's up everyone and welcome to today's video. I just want to go over skill mods today on the Division 2 and explain exactly how they work because there's been a change recently that makes it a lot easier to manage them. They stated that when we pick up skill mods, we are no longer going to need to basically store them anymore because they will take over the existing mod that you have if it's of greater value. And if it's of lesser value, then it'll automatically get dismantled. However, there's a few things you need to know and understand about how this system works. So we're going to go into that today. And the first thing that we want to have a look at is the mod menu itself. So you can see the mod menu here from your inventory screen. I'm currently on 88 out of 100. That's the maximum amount I can hold. And there's two different mod types. We've got gear system mods and we have skill attachment mods. Now for the gear system mods, these are completely separate than the skill ones. And these changes that they've made do not include the gear ones. So these are still going to work exactly the same as they did before. You will need to collect every single one of these and manage these separately. They are not going to overtake any that you already have or automatically dismantle or anything like that. So everything you currently know about mods before the change will still apply to the gear system ones. So we're not going to discuss those today. We're just discussing the skill attachment ones because this is where the change has occurred. Now, if I quickly have a look at my sticky bomb attachments here, you can see I've got one here at a blast radius of 4.6%. Now if I go and farm another one of these mods and it's of higher value, this one will automatically get dismantled and the newer one that I find will take its place. If I farm and I get one lesser of this value of 4.6%, then it'll automatically dismantle the one that I pick up, keeping this one in place. That is basically how it works, and we've kind of like gone over that twice now. So let's move on because there are a few things that you need to be aware of. Now, one thing that I used to do was I always favorited my mods. So I would favorite them all. Every single mod I had on me would be favorited, so it was easier to manage them when it came to my inventory management. And when this change first came in this season, I was not noticing that my skill attachment mods were getting managed as they said they would. I was still picking up duplicates, nothing was getting dismantled, and I was very confused. And that's because the game will not dismantle anything that is favorited. I've spoken to a few people about this and they've now made this change to make sure the system works. So if you're like me and my friends that have been favoriting all of your mods, you'll have to go and unfavorite all of your skill attachment mods to make sure that the system works for you. You can notice here that under every skill attachment mod type now, I have nothing favorited. So now the system works. So if you're having the same problem, make sure this is the first thing that you do. I've just started a game of Countdown to show you exactly how this works in play. So I've targeted skill attachment mods, and if I pick up any duplicates, it's gonna show you this works by giving you printer filaments in the bottom left hand side of the screen. So if I just pick these up, I'm going to pick them up as junk, and in the bottom left hand side of the screen there, you'll see I got awarded 6 printer filament. This means that one of those was a duplicate, and it's either stored the higher value and got rid of the old one, or just got rid of the one I picked up because it wasn't a better value. I'll pick up another one here, and this time there's no printer filament, so that's a brand new mod altogether, which is going to store in my inventory. So with this new method, you may think that skill attachment mod management is no longer a thing. However, it still is, because if we just go back out to the menu, there are so many different skill attachment mods that you'll reach 100 out of 100 very quickly, meaning you'll reach your mod capacity and you won't be able to pick up any more mods. Even if that mod is a duplicate on the floor, you're not going to be able to pick it up at full capacity, and you'll also not be able to pick up any gear system mods. So with this said, there is going to be some skill attachment management needed. The main reason for there being so many skill attachment mods is because there are still a lot of duplicates, and I just want to explain this to you, and this is what you're going to need to manage. So if we just go into the Reviver Hive here and go into this top slot, it'll show me all of the mods that I've got that I can put into this top slot. And you'll see there's multiple duration ones. We've got the 4.9% duration and the 4.7% duration. We've also got the 10% duration, but we know that is part of a specialization, so that's a special one. So we can ignore all specialization mods as we can't manage them, and you know how they work as they did before. But with these two here, this is where a lot of people are getting confused again, because apparently if they are of the same skill mod, then I should only have the higher value. So we've got two durations here. Why do I have a 4.7 and a 4.9? This is because you have the mods that can go in each slot of a skill, but then you also have a different named version of that mod. And these are not counted as duplicates in this system that they've introduced. So this 4.9% duration mod here is a swarm control named mod, whereas the 4.7% duration one is a backpack battery named mod. The game sees these as separate mods, so they won't go through that system, which is why we've got both of them. They do exactly the same thing though. There's no point having both of them. We only want the 4.9, but I guess this is one of the flaws to the new system. So what you're going to want to do is go about farming these mods however you want to and test it out for yourself if you want. Go on Countdown, set the targeted loot to the skill attachment mods, and you'll see how quickly you can fill out with 100 out of 100. And when you do fill out, and I want to advise you the best way to manage these. So you don't need to worry, as long as you have unfavorited every single mod. This will make sure that a lot of it is managed for you. But when you do cap out on the inventory, you're going to want to go through each one of these and just delete any other duplicates that you have because they're different named versions. So I'm going to start with the sticky bomb attachments. And there's a great way of doing this. If I hold G, which is filter options, I'm not sure what that is on console, you'll have to check. But you'll see how many mods you have of each statistic. So burn duration here, I've only got one. Damage, I've only got one, so I know I'm good with those. But blast radius, I've got two. So I'm going to select blast radius, and then we're going to take a look at these. I've got a 4.6 blast radius and a 6% blast radius, which is max. And you can see the different named versions there. We have an improved sticky payload and an improved sticky launcher. I'm going to mark the improved sticky launcher version for junk, because that's of a lesser value and I don't need that. I want the other named version there, which is max. Now I'm just going to back up and we're going to do the same for every single mod that is available. So we've got trap attachments next. I can hold G here and I can see I've got one of each on the stats, so I'm good in that department. If I go to pulse attachments and hold G, I can see I've got quite a few here that have more than one. So have a look at the effect duration, but we can already see one of those is a specialization one. You can see the specialization icon. So I know I'm good with them. I'll move over to health, and we've got two here that are duplicates. So again, we're going to have a look at the health ones. I've got 16.1% health and I've got 16.7. They're both different named versions. So in effect, they're not really duplicates, but they both do the same. So I'm going to mark the lower one for junk, and then going to hold G to go into filter options again and just go through everything else. I've got radius there, again with a specialization one. I don't need to worry about that. And on skill haste, I've got some more duplicates. So have a look at these. I've got 5.3% and 5.9. I'm going to mark the lesser value. I'm not going to go through all of this in this video, but that's basically what you're going to want to do now, is go through every single one, filter it, find all your duplicates that are not involved in specialization mods, and mark all the lower ones for junk. Once you have been through them all and marked everything for destruction, you can dismantle all of those mods. You can see the difference that it makes. It's taken me down from my cap of 100 and took me down to 63 out of 100, meaning I've got a lot more space to carry on my farming. And I think the most important take from this new system is that we now actually have a method that is quite quick to manage when it comes to inventory, because if it's like it was before for anyone else. I never used to manage skill mods whatsoever. With this new system, I do manage them. I just leave them unfavorited now, and I'll always just quickly check over them when my inventory for mods get full and dismantle all those duplicates like I've just shown you. This means I'm always going to have the best skill mod attachments available to me, and when I go to place them on my build and on my skills, that they're going to be better than they were before. Another thing that is worth mentioning is the skill mods that are currently attached to your skills. These do play a part in your management of the skill attachment mods, because when they're attached to your skills, they're not going to be showing in your inventory here, which means you are going to miss some items. So I'm just going to go back to the hive here. And if we have a look again at this 4.9 duration mod, because this was on the hive, I missed it when I went through my management there, which means I've still got the 4.7 in my inventory because I had nothing to compare it to because it was currently on my skill. So you are going to have that, which is a little bit annoying, which means you will kind of still keep duplicates, I guess. But one of the plus sides about this new system is also that if I was to find a swarm control version of this mod at 5%, it would replace the one on the skill for me. It does do that. So it would take out this 4.9% and dismantle it and throw the 5% one in there. So even though these mods on your skills aren't actually in your inventory, the game does still recognize them. The only thing I did notice was it only recognized them on the build I was currently running. So it would change that for me. But then when I went to other builds that were using the same mod, I would have to re-equip them at times. I believe this may have been fixed in a recent patch though. You'd have to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But that is everything I've learned about the new skill attachment management system in the Division 2 that was introduced. I had a lot of questions about this, mainly because it wasn't working for me, because I favorited everything, but I did want to get it all down in this video for anyone else that may have had questions. So if this video has been helpful, please do hit that like button. Hit subscribe for more content, and this video is part of my beginner's guide playlist to the Division 2 in 2024. If you need any more content to help you out with the game if you're a new player or a returning player, there's a link down in the video description to my beginner's guide playlist. Go and check it out. Thank you so much for watching this one though, and until next time, stay safe and peace out.